I'm Krista Gibson, and this is Growing Older and Wiser. I have a question for you, just something I want you to think about, and that is, what kind of legacy are you leaving for the planet when you do go to the great beyond? You know, for some people, their legacy is their children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren, and they feel really good about that. You know, they feel like their energy and their wisdom and they themselves, their DNA, is being carried on once they leave the planet, and that's their legacy. For other people, it's something to do with their work, perhaps. Perhaps they've written books or written songs or did something in it with engineering at a company that made a big difference. You know, I look at my dad, who was a carpenter for years, and sometimes would drive us around and show us while I worked on that building and this building and that building, and the house I grew up in, he built it. And he left a lot of legacy in that sense. And I've been thinking about some of my friends recently I've had a number of friends pass over within the last, 4 to 5 years. And, I realize as I think about different ones of them, whether they were formal teachers or not, how each of them left a legacy with me. Something I learned from them, something I experienced with them that made a difference in my life and still does today. And in many cases, it's something that I've passed on to you or people who read my writing or the books that I've written. So in ways like that. And I'm thinking, that is these people's legacy that they have left on the planet. Now, many of them also had children, and they were accomplished in whatever their careers were at the time. But I was thinking about when we look at leaving a legacy, because we all do, we leave a legacy whether we know it or not, whether we call it that or not. We leave a legacy by the way we interact with other people, information that we share with other people, the way that we even live our lives. A simple thing like being at the grocery store and the clerk is in a bad mood and you say something that kind of cheers them up, and then maybe the rest of their day went a little better. That's a legacy. And as we get older, some people get kind of sour because they're unhappy that they didn't get to do everything they wanted to do. They didn't accomplish very much. Maybe they did want to write a book and never did. Or maybe they wanted to have children and for one reason or another couldn't, and they didn't adopt. And so here they go. When they're gone, they're gone. I mean, in my case, I don't have children, and when I'm gone, that's the end of that DNA. My brother and I used to joke about that because both of us said, we're not having children, and we didn't. And we said, what's gone on in this ancestral line is going to end with us because we're not passing it on. And in these cases, we felt that was a good thing. I don't know. So my legacy has to do with things like what I'm doing right now with you, books I write, articles I write, classes that I teach or have taught, and where I've shared some of myself and my ideas and my learning with other people. And what I know is that each of them has shared it in their own way. And so my legacy is being passed along with my spiritual children, which can be people and ideas and the different things that I've done in my life. So what I'd like to do today is just kind of put that out to you and say, what is your legacy? What are you leaving when you leave the planet? Because you're going to leave someday, maybe sooner, later, whatever. But what is your legacy? Are you happy with your legacy? If you're not happy with your legacy, if you don't feel you're leaving behind something that you really want to leave behind, how can you change that? Is it something you need to do on a daily basis? Do you not really think about the way you talk to people and the way you treat people as being part of your legacy? Is there something that you've really wanted to create and have put it off for years? But if you would create it, it would be your legacy. A book, a piece of music, a piece of furniture, something, a poem. Is there something like that you have not done that you really wanted to do? If you have done all of those things and you're continuing to do all of those things, kudos to you. Do them with intention. Do them with the intention of, okay, this is now part of my legacy. What I'm doing with you right now is part of my legacy. And I don't know how long this video will stay up on YouTube. You know, when I go on, I'm sure somebody will take them all down. Or maybe they'll leave them. I don't know. I won't really care by then. Anyway. But you can look at, what are you doing today? What are you doing in your life? And I'm taking it away from the idea of children because, yeah, that's your legacy. And a lot of people know that. But what about other ways? And that's what I'm really referring to. For you to look at what are the other ways that I'm leaving a legacy, and am I happy? Because you can leave a negative legacy too. Am I happy with the legacy that I'm leaving? If you're not, make some changes. If you are, good for you. Keep up the good work and keep filling your legacy with lots of positive and loving things. Next time.